Hello, second grade. Welcome to Science with Miss Conley. Today, we are going to learn more about frogs. We are going to discuss the life cycle of frogs. I'm looking at this picture, the life cycle of a frog. It looks very similar to the life cycle of a caterpillar. I see you start off as eggs, then they become a tadpole with legs, and you can see the metamorphosis process is beginning. Then they become a froglet, which is basically a baby frog, and then they become an adult. Here are some vocabulary words. I'm going to say the word and you're going to repeat after me. Embryo, absorb, tadpole, aquatic, froglets. Let's take a look at these new vocabulary words. Embryo. An embryo is an unborn living thing in the process of being developed. That's the very beginning of the life cycle of a frog. Humans can also be embryos. We usually call it a fetus. Absorb. That's to take in or soak up. Tadpole. That is the aquatic form of an amphibian that breathes through gills. That's part of the life cycle of a frog. Aquatic. That relates to water. And froglets. A frog that has recently developed from a tadpole. It's basically a baby frog. Let's think before we go on to this slide. What is an embryo? Hopefully you said it's an unborn living thing in the process of being developed. Let's take a look at some guiding questions for this lesson. What is the life cycle of a frog? What do frogs need to survive? Let's read a book about the life cycle of frogs. The Incredible Animal Life Cycle, Life Cycles of a Frog. Here's my table of contents. This is probably a nonfiction book then. Chapter 1 is floating eggs, swimming tadpoles, hopping frogs, and then of course you have the glossary and the index. We're mostly just going to be reading about the life cycle of frogs. Chapter 1, floating eggs. Small clear eggs float in a pond. Each one has a dark center. The dark spots wriggle and twist. What are they? Frog embryos. See those little embryos? Remember, an embryo is an unborn living thing in the process of being developed. So it's in the process of becoming a tadpole. The embryos grow into tadpoles. They break free into the water. They keep changing until they are adult frogs. Each change is a step in their life cycle. And it's making a label, it's pointing to the tadpole. Here's some more eggs. Frogs are amphibians. Oh yeah, we learned about amphibians. Most start their lives in the water. That is where a female frog lays her eggs. The eggs need water or they will dry up. Did you know? Frogs live on every continent except Antarctica. They need water. They absorb it through their skin. I wonder why they're not on Antarctica. Some tree frogs make foam nests. This right here is a foam nest. The nest sits in a tree above water. They lay their eggs inside. The frogs release a liquid. Then they kick it with their legs. It makes millions of tiny bubbles. The foam hardens. It protects the growing eggs. The tadpoles will hatch and drop into the water below. So here's your label with the foam nest. Did you know some female frogs lay as many as 20,000 eggs at once? Whoa, that is a lot of eggs. Swimming tadpoles. Inside each egg, the embryo grows. After a few days or weeks, it starts to wriggle. Then a tadpole hatches. A tadpole doesn't look like a frog. It has a big head and a long tail. It is born with gills outside the body. Soon they are replaced with gills inside the body. New tadpoles are hungry. They eat the jelly from their eggs. Then they stick to plants and eat for a few days. Later, they search for small pieces of dead plants and animals. They might even eat frog or toad eggs. The tadpoles grow. 4 little legs appear beneath their skin. The back legs pop out first. Look at their cute little legs coming out. They must be going through metamorphosis. They get longer and bigger. Their front legs appear too. Then it is time for an even bigger change for the tadpoles. Hopping frogs. The tadpoles get ready to live outside the water. They grow lungs. Their gills disappear. So they are moving from an aquatic animal where they were mostly in the water with gills, and now they are going on land, and so they are going to get lungs. The tadpoles have been growing for 12 weeks. They are now froglets. They look like tiny frogs with tails. Their bodies slowly absorb their tails. Remember, absorb means to take in or soak up, so it basically just absorbs into the body. As they grow bigger, their tails disappear. They are finally adult frogs. They live on land. They use their strong legs to hop. Their long, sticky tongues snatch insects from the air. Let's take a look at their life cycle. Here are the 4 stages. Egg. A frog starts out as an embryo. It grows inside its egg for about 6 to 21 days. Tadpole. The tadpole hatches from the egg. It grows underwater for 6 to 9 weeks. Froglets. After 12 weeks, the tadpole changes into a froglet. It grows lungs and legs and loses its tail. Adult frog. 12 to 16 weeks after it hatches, it is now an adult frog. Whoa, that book has so many interesting facts about frogs. Now I have even more questions about frogs. How many eggs can a female frog lay? Hopefully you said that a female frog can lay 20,000 eggs at one time. That was right in the text. What does a tadpole eat? Well, I learned that a tadpole eats lots of things. It eats jelly from its egg, that's the covering around the embryo. It eats dead plants and animals, and it can also eat frog or toad eggs. Here's another question. How long do tadpoles grow before they become those cute little froglets? Tadpoles grow about 12 weeks before they become froglets. Let's test ourselves. Do you remember the life cycle of a frog and all the stages? Let's think about that for a moment. Hopefully you said they start off as eggs in the water, then they become tadpoles, then they become a froglet, and again they're starting to go through metamorphosis, and the very last stage is the frog. Okay, boys and girls, your assignment is to complete this Edpuzzle, which is this video that you just watched. And you're going to also draw the life cycle of a frog on Jamboard. I'm going to go ahead and show you Jamboard. Some of you have already used this for your quick coding for Letterland. Now we're going to try and draw our pictures. Just try your best. Over on this side here, you will see these are all the different colors that you can use. You can use different colors depending upon what you want to draw. I'm going to do my first cycle, which is the first stage, which is the eggs. So I'm just going to draw little tiny cute eggs, and then I'm going to label it egg. If you need to erase, you press here and it's a little eraser and it will allow you to erase. You can also, if you want to get super fancy, you can also type in a sticky note. That's what Miss Conley used right here. All right, boys and girls, try your best. Don't forget to put your name on your Jamboard so I know who did the drawing.